Hi,
Hello.
welcome to So You Think You're Iconic, the movie podcast. So, how are you doing, Kelly?
I'm doing pretty well. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing magnifico.
Magnifico. This feels really strange because we're not recording on a Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Because we went hiking on Sunday.
Yes, we did. We did go hiking on Sunday and we picked a trail that really kicked our butts,
Oh my
to
gosh,
say the least.
it was so easy at the beginning that we had to walk back, and it was
Yeah,
like
we
up
were we were
uphill for
tricked.
like 2.5 miles.
Yeah. Yeah. We were like, "Oh, this is so good." And then we're like, "You know what? Let's just keep going down and down and down." And then we didn't realize how steep it was until we had to go back
Oh
up.
my gosh, yes. And there were people who were running up, and I don't know how they did
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Homie was like full on running up this hill and we're just dying doing like the first half of it.
Yeah, and he was just normal breathing. He was like,
Yeah. He wasn't huffing and puffing or anything.
we obviously have superheroes in our midst. I don't know
Yes. Yeah.
what other option there is.
Right. Because
Because,
that man was like, he kept his pace. He looked like he could do it all day.
yeah, he didn't look tired. I was
Right.
like, okay, sir.
I want whatever he's having.
Yeah, exactly. Even if it's a drug, I don't care.
Right.
I'll
I
take
don't
it.
care. I'll do it.
There's no way I've been working out for like 2 weeks straight and I don't have the stamina to walk up a hill. Like, what?
To be fair,
Um,
we did run up like a quarter of it because we thought that was a good idea.
yeah, we made it that
We
little
did.
bit. We made it,
We
but
made it.
never again.
That's what matters.
But my butt says thank you to that hill.
Oh yeah.
Nice and tight.
Mine is still sore.
Mine isn't anymore, thank goodness. But it was yesterday when I had to
Mm,
do the elliptical, a hip workout, a butt workout, and abs.
yeah,
that was fun.
you annihilated yourself yesterday.
That was so much fun, guys. Oh
Totally
my,
recommend.
totally
I would
recommend.
do it again in a heartbeat.
It didn't feel like my ass was ripping apart at all. Like it was great. So, what did you do last week other than that?
Not much other than like redoing my resume and
Same.
searching for more jobs that, would actually accept me.
I've applied to so many jobs. So many jobs.
It's rough out here, guys.
Like
It's really rough out here.
what the hell? How did I enter school in a booming economy
Mm-hmm.
where my teacher literally said, "Oh, you'll pretty much be able to get a job right out of college.
Right out
Like
of
it's
college.
all great." And then now I'm struggling to even get the easiest of jobs that are
Mm-hmm.
like well below my
Yep. Skill
my
level.
skill
Like
level.
we're doing customer service. That's what we're looking for right now. And that's
Yeah,
we don't want to do that.
absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
I might have to take a job where I repair appliances. I don't want to do that shit.
It's really rough out here, guys.
If I wanted to do that job, I would have never gone to college.
Right. I would have just gone right into the workforce,
Yeah,
gotten
would have
my experience.
exactly. It's hard out here for a pimp, but you know what? It's fine.
For any of y'all doing the same thing, we feel you right now.
We feel you. Oh, Monday was it Monday? Yesterday was Monday.
Yesterday was
Monday,
Monday.
Monday was Martin Luther King Day.
Yes.
What did you guys do to make a black person's day better yesterday? I stayed
um
home.
yeah, I didn't leave.
You know, that way I'm not killing any black people. I stayed home,
Yeah.
because we're in the middle of a petroleum jelly. So I stayed
Mhm.
home.
Yeah, so we're not in the middle of this palm oil, so.
Yeah, did my part.
Mhm.
Plus, I'm already black, so I don't have to do anything else.
What did I do to make myself happy yesterday? I stayed home.
I stayed home. I worked out. That didn't make me happy.
That didn't make you happy.
but I watched Cars all day.
Oh yeah, and you found out that there was a third one.
Yeah, I found out there was a third one. When did this third one come out?
It came out a couple years ago. It wasn't like in line with like any of the release of the other two. Like those two were kind of close together. This one was like when it came out, you're like, there's a Cars 3. Why do we need a Cars 3?
Yeah, I was watching while I was working out. I saw that Freeform was playing Disney movies. I was like, cool. So I watched Lilo and Stitch,
Aw.
and then I watched Cars, and then I watched a portion of Cars 2, but it was bad, so I stopped watching it. And then I went to Guide, and I saw that there was a Cars 3. And I was like, when did this happen? I was very confused. I don't remember that movie coming out at all.
I don't think the like publicity for it was that big because I think I remember seeing like one trailer and that was it.
Let me look up what year it came out.
Yeah.
Because did I go to Disneyland the year? I most definitely did.
You probably did.
It came out in 2017. I was most definitely at Disneyland in 2017. How come I didn't see literally any advertisement for it?
I don't know, maybe because they knew it would suck.
No popcorn bucket, no meet and greet, no nothing. Like, what's happening, Disney? Are we getting lazy?
They probably like halfway through the project, they're like, you know what, this kind of
It
sucks.
kind of sucks, but
We're not going to spend any more money on
we
this.
already spent the money. Let's just put it out, get a couple 100 million, and just call it a day.
Right. They're like, no one's going to watch this. We don't even like it.
Yeah,
So let's just like cut our losses and get what we can.
like we still make money from like the first two. Like we'll be
Right.
fine.
Ka-chow.
Ka-chow. Okay, are you ready to talk about Double Jeopardy?
Yes. Tell us about Queen Libby.
Okay, so the movie starts off with Libby Parson. She's living the American dream. She's rich. She has a huge
hmm
house by the water in Washington.
It's so nice.
It's nice. A beautiful son and an amazing husband.
hmm
So one day, her husband Nick is throwing a fundraiser for Maddie's school. And after the party, Nick and Libby's friend Angie surprise Libby with a weekend on a sailboat for the couple. And then Angie's like, I'll watch your son.
Yo. The minute they said they had something to tell her, I was like, oh, they're having an affair.
Oh, immediately. Yes.
They're 100% having an affair.
Anytime in a movie where a wife's best friend and the husband are like getting together, like it's an affair.
Yeah. Like if they say they have something to tell you, it's not good.
Yeah, no.
It's
And
not good.
because, like, in what world is your best friend going behind your back and talking to your husband and they're not having an affair together?
Yeah. Yeah. If they aren't planning like a surprise thing for you, it's an affair.
Even,
100%.
I mean, they were planning a surprise thing, but still,
But
even then, I think that's kind of weird.
yeah, I can see that.
I'm like, this does Libby not have any family you could have made this surprise with? Like anyone else?
I
Why'd you?
don't know because like her relationship with her parents, I think, is not there, if I remember correctly. But other than that,
Yeah, it's not really. But there had to be someone else, literally someone else, anyone
anyone
else.
else, I don't know.
Anyway, so they go on the boat, and Libby is happy as she can be because she's always wanted to be on this specific boat.
hmm
I don't remember the name of the boat.
Morning Star.
Sure, I just remember
Okay.
her talking to Maddie. She was like, "Ah, I
Yeah,
love that boat,
yeah. I think it had morning in it. Uh,
Morningstar,
don't quote us on that.
Lucifer Morningstar,
No.
Chilling Adventures of Sabrina." Um, and so they're having the time of their life. And so the two of them, even though it's made apparent at the beginning of the movie that Nick doesn't like sailing,
Yeah, he doesn't like sailing,
but he
but he does it
seems,
for her anyway, so she
yeah,
sees it as sweet.
yeah. And so the two have sex. And then when Libby wakes up that night, there's blood everywhere, and Nick is nowhere to be found. The Coast Guard then somehow appears And Libby is caught holding a knife in her hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Covered in blood.
you find a bloody knife on the floor and you pick it up.
Pick it up.
That's great. Don't do that, people.
Don't do that.
Don't do
Don't
that.
do that.
And so, what I'm guessing is the following day, after searching the water, the Coast Guard's like, we haven't found him, so he's probably dead.
Yeah.
And so Libby is now a single mother and she's left to take care of her son. And then one day, the sheriff and Libby's attorney come by to tell her that there was an inquest about her husband's disappearance and she's being charged with murder.
Mm-hmm.
She gets arrested like the exact same way you would think a rich person would get arrested.
Yeah.
Like the cops brought her lawyer to her.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what?
And then she had a request to not be arrested in front of
her
Maddie.
son. Yeah, she was like, not in front of my kid. And they were like, okay.
Okay. And so they like gently led her to the car. And it's like,
Yeah.
nah. If this woman was anything but white.
Anything but white.
That they would not have cared.
First off, they would have brought a child services person to pick up Maddie. They would have just took her, no matter what she wanted.
Yep. They probably would have yanked Maddie first, and then she would have been all hysterical, and then she would have been arrested, read her rights, and then dragged to the car.
Her lawyer wouldn't have known anything until she was already in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, nah, that's not realistic.
It's not.
And so her lawyer, Bobby, goes over the evidence with her and tells her of all the debt that Nick was in, and that the jury would see the $2 million life insurance policy that Nick had on himself as motive for killing him.
That was shitty police or detective work right there. Like, really, y'all are going the obvious route of they're in debt and they have a life policy, and she killed him for the money.
You know what I'm going to say? What rich person isn't in debt?
True.
All rich people are in debt.
Yeah, they buy way too high above their means just so they can look good, and they think the money will be there forever.
Most of their money isn't even like money; it's like stocks and bonds, and
it's liquidated into other things.
So don't get fooled, people. Most people aren't actually as rich as they look.
Yeah. Also, what's the whole thing about innocent until proven guilty? Like, y'all just are speculating this whole thing.
And they were. And so she's like, I didn't kill my husband. And then her lawyer's like, okay. And then he's just like, okay.
He's just like, okay.
And then so during the trial, they play a recording of a distress message that Nick sent out. And Libby's defense is awful.
It really is.
It's completely awful. The fact that she kept her lawyer after he came up with this defense, I will never understand why. Her defense is that someone came on board, killed Nick, but left her alone.
Yeah. Like they wouldn't just kill both people.
Is that not the worst defense you've ever heard in your entire life?
Maybe he thought it would work.
How?
I have no idea.
Any person with two brain cells rubbed together would be like, that's a little suspicious. I have some reasonable doubt.
Also, like the way that the prosecutor handles this after like Libby says that, she's just all like, oh yeah, and so maybe next is aliens and pirates that came and killed your husband. I'm like,
yeah, she was an asshole. But when I was on jury duty, the prosecutor on my thing was an asshole too. He literally did this thing where he walked outside of the courtroom to be like, were you this far away? Were you this far away? And I was like, dude, come on.
Wow.
Like, please stop being an asshole.
Damn.
I was like, okay. And then so, of course, this does not work.
Mm-hmm.
And Libby is convicted of Nick's murder. We don't know what she's convicted of. We don't know if it's first degree, second degree.
Yeah, they never say what she's sentenced for.
Yeah, or how long.
Oh, no. She's in there for 6 years.
No, that's how long she's in there, but they don't say how long she was sentenced for.
Okay.
And so, before she goes to jail, Libby has Angie adopt Maddie. And she's like, "You're in charge of the $2 million that will be in a trust for Maddie."
Mm-hmm.
Even though it should probably be higher than that, because don't like insurance thingies like double or something if someone dies in an accident or blah blah
I don't
blah.
know. I'm not really sure on how that works. Also, like the moment she said that Angie would adopt Maddie, I was so pissed. I'm like, Angie, you better feel like so dirty right now
You know
because
she
she is
didn't.
trusting you right now.
You know she didn't.
I know she did it, but like I was pissed
And why did
when she
she
was
have
all
to
like,
adopt him?
I guess so he wouldn't go into the foster system.
She
And
could
I
have
guess she
he could have just been like a legal guardian. Like she didn't have to adopt him.
I don't know. And I maybe she didn't want her like parents to like come out of nowhere and be like, "Hey, that's my grandson."
And does that mean that Angie like gave away her parental rights? Not Angie, Libby.
I don't know. I'm
I don't
not
know.
sure.
I don't know how adoptions work.
Yeah,
Does Maddie have two mothers now?
don't know. I'm not sure how that
Yeah,
whole thing works. I just
yeah.
know it's expensive.
Someone tell us how that works.
Yes, please.
And so, before she goes, she promises Maddie that they will be together again. Um,
Oh,
Also, that child who plays Maddie, I give him a 6 out of 10 on his acting. Wasn't great,
I
but
feel like he didn't do much though.
he was a kid, so like I let it
Yeah,
slide.
yeah,
It definitely wasn't the worst child acting I've ever seen.
yeah. It wasn't.
Those Star Wars prequels, the kid who played Anakin, terrible, awful.
I don't remember. I haven't seen the prequels in a
You
while.
want to go pod racing? Like it's so bad. It's so annoying.
Guess I
And
gotta
then
go rewatch the prequels.
yeah, you go do that. See how terrible that child was. His voice was so annoying. Okay, and so while in jail, Libby does the thing where she like just keeps her head down,
Hmm.
and then she looks forward to her weekly visits from Angie and Maddie.
Also, I love that point where like I don't know if it's like her first night there or whatever, but like the two ladies like come up to her bed and they're
Uh-huh.
like, "So what did you do? What are you in for?" And she's all like, "I killed my husband," or like they said I killed my husband, and the other girl's like, "So did I."
Right? She was like, "Yeah, me too."
Yeah. She's like, "But I didn't do it." And she's like, "He didn't deserve it." She's like, "Mine did." I was like, "Yes,
Good,
queen."
good for you. You've truly accepted your role in this, and I have to
Yeah.
applaud you for that.
Ooh.
And then, so after a while, Angie and Maddie stop coming, and
Hmm.
like she gets like really sad. And then one day when they're on the rec yard, two other prisoners tell Libby that she should just track them down. And so Libby calls Maddie's school as Angie and gets her address and phone number.
How didn't they like recognize Libby's voice?
I have no idea.
Because like,
She was like, "Oh my
wouldn't you
gosh,
know?
Angie!" And she's like, "Hi." It's like, no, you don't sound like Angie.
Right.
Well, either way, Libby finds out that they are in San Francisco, and I looked up the address. It's 3321 Mason Street.
Hmm.
It's a real address, but it's like some shop on Fisherman's Wharf. Like there's
Oh.
no houses there.
I mean, they could
and
have
the,
just done Embarcadero, and that would have been like pricey and nice and expensive.
and the zip code was wrong.
What'd they put?
In the movie, the zip code is 94105, but the real zip code for that address is 94133.
Oh yeah,
94105 is in San Francisco, but it's in a different
not that.
area of
Yeah,
San Francisco. So yeah, that was a big problem.
they had the right spirit.
They had the right spirit.
They're in the right area.
At least like 90% of the address was a
Was
right
correct.
address.
Yeah.
And so Libby calls the number, and when Angie picks up, Libby is pissed because she moved and didn't tell her.
Mm-hmm.
And so Angie puts Maddie on the phone, and while Libby and Maddie are talking, she hears Maddie say "Daddy." before Nick disconnects the phone. Like, he didn't just hang it up. Like, he like
Nope. He
disconnects it.
disconnects the phone.
And then this leaves Libby very confused because she is currently in jail because her husband is supposed to be dead.
Yep.
And then so she tries to call the insurance company and be like, hey, my husband is alive. And of course they don't
They
believe
don't
her.
believe her.
And so one day, Margaret, one of the two inmates from before that told Libby to, you know, look up Angie.
Look up Angie.
She's like, you can try to appeal all you want, but no one's gonna believe you.
Oh yeah.
She's like
Yeah.
95% of the time the appeals don't even get seen.
Yeah, and the process is so long that it wouldn't even matter.
Yeah. And so she's like, I used to be a lawyer, and have you heard of this thing called the Fifth Amendment in the Constitution? She was like, since you were already convicted of Nick's murder, you can kill him, and because of double jeopardy,
Ooh, movie title.
you will not be jailed again because you were already convicted for his murder.
Yeah, she cannot be tried again for the same crime.
And so the woman says she could walk up to him in Times Square and kill him in front of everyone, and there would be nothing they can do about it. I'd like to think that in New York City that would be a weird thing. Just walking up to someone and shooting them in the head and walking away.
I can see that.
I can see that. I can see like two people being like, "What was that?" And then everyone else
probably
just
like
keeps
look
going.
in the direction, but like, it's not my problem.
Right? Oh, there's someone laying on the floor. Get off the floor.
Yeah, get off the floor. Do you know where you are?
Like, our rats have rats. Like, get off of the floor. And then so Libby now starts to use her like jail time to start like working out.
Heck yeah.
And prepare to like hunt down Nick. And then on Maddie's 8th birthday, Evelyn, the other inmate from the beginning of Libby's sentence, brings in a cake so that Libby can celebrate.
It was so cute.
It was cute. And then we cut to Margaret and Evelyn coaching Libby on what to say to the parole board so that Libby can get an early release.
I thought that was so funny.
And it worked.
It worked.
Like, she gets out after being in prison for 6 years.
I wonder if that was like half her sentence or if there was more.
Who knows? We'll never know.
We'll never know.
We don't even know what her sentence was, so we'll never know. Mm-hmm. Also, during this scene is when I started what I call the POC counter. I started to count the number of people of color in this movie who aren't prisoners.
Oh, okay.
Because literally 99.9% of the people of color in this movie are prisoners.
Yeah.
And so it was at the parole board hearing that I got number 1, 32 minutes into this movie. One. A black man on the parole board, and he has no lines.
Oh yeah, he just sits there.
Super fun. Great time. Woo-hoo. So remember, we're at 1. And so as soon as she's released, Libby is sent to a halfway house under the supervision of parole officer Travis Lehman, played by Tommy Lee Jones. And did you notice that one of his house rules was no fornicating?
Yeah.
I thought that was so funny. Like, you mean to tell me I get out of jail, I have nowhere to go, I have to live in a halfway house, and I can't even have sex? Like, that sucks.
Right. Like, I have a curfew at 8:30.
8:30. Like,
in San Francisco.
Like, you already took away these people's rights, essentially. Right. And now they can't even get railed by the creepy person they met on the bus ride over here. Like, what?
Right. Come on now. Let them live.
Like, Libby hasn't seen a man in like 6 years that hasn't been yelling at her to go back to her room or whatever correction officers do. Mm-hmm. Let her have some fun.
Right. Like, her husband was trash. Let her like have some fun with a man that, will give her whatever for how long.
Oh, which is great because we go straight into this scene. So one day, Libby goes to the library to like look up Angie. And some random fuckboy who looks like he's like 20 like 10 years younger than her,
Mm-hmm.
walks up to her and he starts flirting with her, and she's obviously not interested. But like she still like uses him to like help
Yeah.
look up Angie.
Yeah. Like
And
he got so close to her.
yeah,
It
so
was
close. He
not
was
good.
like, your soap smells great. And I
I
was like,
know.
dude, back the hell
Mm-mm.
up.
That would have been all of your strikes right then and there. All of
And,
them.
and then so he helps her find Angie. And then he's like, hey, you want to go to this bar with me? And then she's like, oh, this is my time to shine. She was like, I can't because of my parole officer. And he's like, what you get like arrested for? Like shoplifting? Like he's like, this is a tiny white woman. She looks
Right.
nice. Like she did. She's like,
Right.
no,
He's like, oh, she's like a bad girl. Ooh.
she's like, no, I was in there for killing my husband.
Yeah.
And then he leaves her alone.
Yeah, he zoomed out so quick.
He was like, oh no, I forgot. I got
Yeah.
something to do. Honestly, same. So, ladies, use this as an excuse when you're being hit on by someone who can't take a hint.
Yeah.
Be
If
like, I
barking doesn't work, then just say you've been in jail and you've murdered somebody.
be like, sure, but I have to tell my parole
Yeah,
officer.
just be like, yeah.
And then
So
when they
like,
ask what you're on parole for, say you're on parole for murdering your ex-boyfriend, ex-husband,
yeah,
something.
yeah. Yeah, your father or something. Because you're
Say
crazy.
say you only got manslaughter because
They couldn't
they
prove it.
they couldn't prove intent. So
Yeah.
yeah, there you go, right there. I
There we
saved
go.
a million girls' lives.
Yeah. Let's go.
It's so one night a girl at the house gets taken back to prison. We're now at POC number 2.
Two.
There's a black woman in the background. She doesn't speak, of course.
And she's in the background.
And she's in
She's
the
not even in
background.
the forefront.
And then while this girl is being taken back to prison, Libby learns that Travis used to be a lawyer, but he got a DUI and his wife left him, took all his money, took his daughter, and he hasn't seen his daughter since.
Mm-hmm.
So Libby goes back to her hometown and asks the headmistress of Maddie's school if she knows where Maddie and Angie are. But she like refuses to help.
Yeah.
She's like, no, I'm not going to tell you where your child is.
Right. She's like she doesn't want to help her. She's like treating her really bad because she's been in prison and whatever.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I'm not telling you anything.
She's like, yeah, I'm not going to tell you where your child is. Like,
Yeah.
they're happy. Let them live their lives. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's my child.
Yeah, like she's out of prison. Aren't you just like happy she's out of prison and doing better? Like
Ugh.
fake.
And so that night, Libby breaks into the school to get Angie's new address.
Mm-hmm.
She gets it, but is caught and arrested.
Yes.
Like there's this long scene where she's like running away from them,
Yeah.
but they know exactly who she is. So why is she running?
Right. And she's running from a Jeep.
Yeah.
I don't know how she ever got as far as she did, but she's running from a Jeep.
I don't either. But it was so funny. They were literally like, Libby! She just kept running.
Like, I get that you trained in jail, but you cannot outrun a Jeep, and they know it's you.
And they know it's you. And so while in a holding cell, Travis comes and tell her that he's taking her back to prison. While on a ferry boat back to the city, Travis handcuffs Libby to the car, but leaves the keys in the ignition. And like, so Libby somehow, I don't know how this happened, she somehow like gets herself into the driver's seat, even though she's handcuffed.
Yeah, she's handcuffed to the outside of the door.
Outside of
not
the
even
door.
On the inside.
It's weird. And so
she's got abnormally long arms.
Yeah. And so she starts driving. She starts putting in like drive in reverse to like knock it off on this like pipe that's next to her hand.
Mm-hmm.
During this, she literally kicks the car, like knocks the car.
Yeah, she knocks the car into the ocean.
And then
no one notices, by the way.
No one notices.
Yeah, no one notices or hears her like hitting cars.
Yeah, like Travis literally sees a car in the ocean. He sees like the top of a car like fall into the ocean and doesn't really notice anything. Probably because he's drinking.
Yeah, he's day
in the
drinking.
middle of the day. Like he
Mm-hmm.
mixed God knows what with his coffee.
Yeah, and he's on the job, so.
Yeah, two strikes. It's so he finally notices at some point
Mm-hmm.
because he sees the car like reverse.
Yeah.
Is it, so he like goes out to the car, breaks open the window, and Libby's like, "Oh, okay," and just drives the car
Yeah.
straight off of the boat into the
Into the
ocean,
water. And she's still chained to the
still
door.
chained to the door.
Like, you could have killed yourself, honey.
And then so while in the water, Travis like uncuffs her so she won't
So
drown
she
to
won't drown
death.
to death.
And then so they fight to the top of the water. She steals his gun,
Hmm.
knocks him on the head, and then swims away.
I thought she accidentally killed him, bro, because she like smacked him real good.
She smacked him really good. And then so Libby hitchhikes her way to her parents' house, and her mother gives her a stash of money that she had hidden in her tomato garden.
Don't know the reason.
Don't know why she had money stashed in the tomato garden.
Also, I thought she wasn't on good terms with her parents, and then they're just giving her money.
I guess it's just her father,
Hmm.
because
Okay.
her mother like said something about your father won't be back for blah blah blah, and I was like,
Oh
oh,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay.
She said he was out.
And oh, also during this scene, did you notice how long they panned on the mother's face after she gave Libby the money?
No.
She was like, I always told you there was money in tomatoes, and then like they like stayed panned on her face for like a good like 7 seconds.
Oh really?
And then they like faded out. Like it was weird.
No.
And so Libby then goes to a BMW dealership and gives them Angie's social security number that she got from the school, which I don't know how that worked.
Yeah. I I don't
Why
know how.
why would a school have the parent's social security number?
Yeah, they really wouldn't need it for anything.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense to me. And then she just does this so that she can find out Angie's current address.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like goes to the guy and she's like, "Yeah, just run my credit." And then he's like, "So is
Yeah,
this
he
your
he's
address?"
confirming the address.
And she's like, "Yep, that's it," and then walks out.
Walks out.
He didn't think that was suspicious at
Yeah.
all. And then she also learns that Angie changed her last name
Oh yeah.
to Ryder. I don't remember what her original last name
Me
was,
neither. She
but
probably
this,
changed it to match with Nick's.
yeah, it probably doesn't matter. And so Travis is also looking for Angie because he knows that if he finds Angie, he will find Libby, and then has one of his parolees look up Angela. POC number 3.
Yes, yes, yes.
And this poor woman, Travis embarrassed the hell out of her in
Bruh,
front of her
yeah.
coworkers.
I
Why
was
did
like,
he
Lehman, why you gotta be like that?
why did he
Like,
bring up the fact that she sucked eggplant to pay her bills? Like leave
right.
her
Leave her
alone.
alone.
That is so rude.
So rude. Like
Pl-
literally, she was just
Plenty of
doing what she
people do
needed
it for
to.
free.
Yeah, right.
At least she was stimulating the economy,
Right.
Travis. Like come
Right.
on. Ugh.
Right. She was getting bank, okay?
And now she had a good government job. Like leave her alone.
Yeah, leave her alone. Damn.
And so Libby makes it to the address she got from the dealership and learns from the woman next door that Angie has been dead for 3 to 4 years.
Dude, and when Libby gets up to the house, she's like coming in with guns blazing, and then like a little kid opens the door and she just like stares at him thinking it's Maddie.
It looked nothing like Maddie.
I know. And then like another woman comes out and then she fully hides the gun because she's like,
Yeah.
oh.
And this woman's like, we just moved here. I don't
Yeah.
know anything. And so, yeah, she learns that Maddie has been dead for 3 to 4 years.
Maddie.
Angie.
Angie.
Oops.
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 Also, I was so mad that she was dead. Like, I'm so glad she was dead because she deserved that. But like, I wanted Libby to get her revenge, you know?
Oh yeah, I wanted her to get revenge on everyone.
Mm.
But yeah, but she learns that Maddie and Nick are still out there.
Mm-hmm.
And so Libby goes looking through archived newspapers and finds a painting in the background of Angie's photo by Kandinsky
Yeah, it's the same one that was at her
in her
house.
house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they showed at the beginning.
And so she has an art dealer find who sold it
Mm-hmm.
and where it is now.
Yeah.
And so while she's doing this, Travis somehow makes it there,
Yeah.
finds out from the woman across the street that Libby was driving a green truck. And so he just goes driving around the town looking for a green truck. He finds it, parks his car in front of it so that it can't move, and then goes inside the art dealership to talk to the art dealer. And so while the art dealer and Travis are talking, Libby like finds the name Jonathan DeVoe.
Yeah.
I had to remember because it's spelled so weird.
Yeah. It's the French.
And so she gets his address, and before Travis can like really come in, she like sneaks out the back, wrecks his car, another one
Wrecks
of his car,
car.
and she heads out to Louisiana to find Nick and Maddie.
Mm-hmm.
And then so when she gets to Louisiana, she finds out that Nick is there under the alias Jonathan DeVoe, and that he's running a luxury hotel, and confronts him during a fundraising auction.
Also, I love that like she says that she needs to get like ready and she like pulls this whole like scam on an old lady.
Oh yeah, it was very much Ocean's 8
It really
scamming.
was though, because she just goes up to the hotel counter that she like finds. It's like a really swanky hotel. And she just listens to like one of the women that are like, oh yeah, book me a spa appointment, whatever. And she says her room number and her name. And then she literally just takes that information, waltzes into like the hotel, like, I don't know, store.
Store? Shop?
Yeah,
Sure.
shop. And she's all like, yeah, I need to find a dress. And one of the workers, it's almost a Pretty Woman moment where she like sizes her up and she's like, she ain't got no money.
Yeah, and then she name drops the
Yeah.
masseuse.
Yeah. And then she names off some masseuse and then she says what room she is and her name. And then the lady's like, oh, okay, she got money.
Right? She got money.
And then she gets a really great dress and then she waltzes into that fundraiser.
Yeah. And what kind of hotel was that? I've been in really nice hotels, never been in one that had a shop.
I don't know. Maybe we're not rich enough to ever be in.
Right? Maybe there's like a nice hotel like above anything I've ever been
Yeah.
to. Because I've literally been to the Hamilton in Washington, D.C., and when you check in, they give you champagne.
What?
I thought that was the nicest hotel I was ever going to stay in my entire life. I
Dang.
was like, wow.
Maybe there's a 6-star like hotels out there. And we
Maybe.
just they do literally if we call in, they like check our credit score and they're like
Probably.
they can't come in here.
Because isn't there also like a store that if you walk into it, like they check your credit score?
Yeah,
What
I'm
is
sure. I mean, even down in Walnut Creek, the Tiffany's, they have bodyguards out front and they're so intimidating. Like I went in there once I had money to buy something even if it was really small. And literally the looks everyone was giving me, I'm just like, they know I'm broke. They know I'm
they
broke.
were like, we are not getting a good commission off of this girl if she
No
even
one
buys
help her.
anything.
No one help her.
Uh, I can't wait. I want to be rich.
Yeah.
Anyone rich out there want to marry me, or I'll be a sugar baby. I don't care.
I'll be a sugar baby. Or if you really just want friends and like I'll just go with you to stores and stuff so I can feel like I'm rich with you.
Yeah, I'll just hang out with you.
Right. I'll just hang out with you. I just
I'm
want the
really,
experience.
I'm really fun to hang out with. I think I'm funny.
Yeah, we think we're funny.
I think
And
we
I
are.
mean, you're listening to this right now, and if you think we're
If
pretty
you've
cool.
chuckled at least once, I'm funny.
Yeah, I'm
So
funny. Yeah. If
yeah,
you've smiled even, we're pretty funny.
yeah. So my phone number
Yeah.
is
You know our email
know our
and
email.
we're on Instagram and Twitter. So
I have a passport if you're international. Like,
yeah,
just let me
same, me
know.
too. Yeah.
I'm really scared to go on a plane right now, but like I'll do it
I mean, if it's private.
if it's that would be best.
That would be best.
That would be best.
We want to make sure that everyone is safe in this, right?
Exactly.
Exactly.
We're trying to save the world.
Yes, we are.
So send us your private jet.
We'll meet you wherever.
We'll meet you wherever, preferably in Mykonos.
I'm not picky, but
I'm really not picky. Back to the story. And so while Libby is confronting Nick, meanwhile, Travis has made his way to Louisiana and he's at the police station. He asks the police officers to place flyers all around town of Libby.
Mm-hmm.
And then did you see that when Libby walked into the party, all of the men were like looking at her?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, she's okay. I was like, she's okay.
But she was looking good in that dress though.
Her hair looked bad.
Well, okay,
It looked
90s.
like it was done by a class of middle school girls who just watched a 2010 YouTube tutorial.
The hairstyles in the 90s were not the greatest. I'll give you that. But she do be looking good though.
She looked good in her dress, but her hair looked bad. I would have been like, what's going on up here?
It was like this weird little updo, and there was like some stuff sticking out at the top, kind of.
Yeah, it was weird.
Very 90s.
And so Libby is starting to stir up trouble at the party.
Mm-hmm. Also, I hate how like Nick cannot get out of the spotlight. Like he wants attention so bad. So bad.
Like, sir, you have like 3 personalities that are dead now, and you're just gonna keep escalating.
And you're racking up the body count.
Yeah.
Like, you might think that being out of the spotlight would be beneficial to you.
And does no one think it's weird, like in the government or whatever, that Maddie has been passed off to like 5 different people?
Right.
Does that not like check some sort of like red flag in like the system of something?
Right. Like guardianship and stuff like that, because he's gonna have to change his name to match his sons, right?
Yeah.
Come on now. And they're gonna see like Maddie with this man and then Maddie with that man. And it's like, bro.
And then Maddie with a woman who died suspiciously, and then he was with another man with a whole different name. And
right.
Is that
and like this boy is not in like some like child custody or anything. He's not like bouncing around foster homes.
Yeah, like these are like individual people taking him.
Mm-hmm.
Our system is messed up.
It really is though. I know we trash like the monarchy, but like anything is better.
I've yet to see a good working society. And so Maddie's like, hey, all I want is Libby. Is like all I want. Libby is like, all I want is Maddie. She's like, you can do whatever you want here. I honestly don't care.
Yo, this man tries to barter with the woman that's just straight up like, I'll kill you again. Right. Zero hesitation.
It's like, I'll kill you right now. Like, right. Come on, sir.
Just where's my son? And he's all like trying to bargain with her. Like, get rid of the whole man. Just get rid of him. Where is he keeping all of this audacity?
Who knows?
And he was not worried at all. Like,
and then he tries to like explain that he didn't mean for her to go to jail.
Right. He's just like, I just faked my death. You just happened to be the one that it was pinned on. It's not my fault.
And she of course didn't fall for that bullshit. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I would have been like, okay, Nick, whatever.
Right. Like she was like, I'm like, girl, drag him. Just like, come on now.
And so eventually she's just like, you know what? I'm gonna call you tomorrow. It's like I'm gonna call you tomorrow. I'm gonna give you a night to like think this over. You better have an answer. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, I'm going to the police. I'm gonna tell them who you are. Mm-hmm. And so she sneaks away just before Travis comes because he's looking for quote unquote Jonathan. Mm-hmm. In my notes, I kept writing Jonathan with quotation marks. I'm just gonna call him Nick.
Yeah, just call him Nick.
It gets very confusing.
It gets confusing.
And so Travis alerts Nick of Libby. And so then we cut to later, and Libby is at a bar where the owner shows her the wanted poster of her. But then he just like rips it up. He's like, "There's no reward. I don't really care.
Right,
That's none of my
right,
business."
right. This man is literally the definition of stay in your lane.
Yeah.
He was just like, I'm just here to tell you that there are people looking for you, but I don't care.
Yeah,
So
this man is peak Louisiana. Peak Louisiana. He's like, "I'm not getting any money from
hmm.
this, so I don't really care."
Right. There's no benefit to me. He's like, just don't cause trouble in my bar because like there are
Yeah.
people looking for you. So just like get out before they see you.
Hands her an umbrella, is like,
Right.
"Have a nice
Right.
day."
He's so like, you know what? Good night. I hope you find somewhere nice to sleep. And just lets her
Yeah,
go.
yeah, he's like, "Don't go to a hotel though,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they have your photo." And then so while Liberty is like sneaking out, she's spotted by a cop, but then she loses him because she like spots him following her.
Yeah. He's in a car and he's like creeping behind her, like,
Yeah.
sir, you can get out of your car.
Through a crowd of people.
Right. Like that would raise suspicion to anybody.
And so the next morning,
Also,
Travis,
Lehman is so dumb during this whole thing.
oh, absolutely.
Like when Lehman met with Nick, I was just like, please don't let this man charm you. Please don't, because that is slimy. And then when the police officer spots Libby, he chases after her, but like once they like lose her, they don't try again.
No.
He like thinks he sees her out of the corner of his eye, but he's just like,
Oh
this
well.
is fine. That's all well.
It's
Like,
like
bro,
it's like
Lehman.
we look like we're in the middle of Mardi Gras. Like we have much more pressing
Yeah.
concerns right now.
Yeah. We have bigger problems.
And then so the next morning, Travis goes to Nick and he's like, "Have you heard from Libby? Or do you at least know why she's going after you?"
Yeah.
And Nick is like, "No, I have no idea. Like, I'm Jonathan. I don't know
Yeah.
anything about this
Yeah. I've
person."
never met this woman in my life.
And so Travis then notices that Nick's office is full of Kandinsky paintings.
Mm. Finally, them brain cells working.
Right. Finally. He finally put down the alcohol and started thinking. And then so while Travis is there, Libby calls Nick, and Nick is like, "I have a business call." And so Libby's like, "Bring Maddie to this certain cemetery."
Yeah.
And
It's a
he's like,
tourist trap. People will be there.
"Yeah." He's like, "Okay." Which I don't know why a cemetery is a tourist trap, but okay.
Don't know.
Just stomping on people's graves. That's great.
That's great. We love
And
to see it. Question mark.
imagine finally getting the eternal rest you deserve, and then every 2 seconds there's a marching band coming through playing loud ass music and people taking pictures of your tombstone. I'd be pissed.
Well, I think that was a legit like funeral service going on then.
Was it?
Yeah, because down in Louisiana they play like kind of like soulful music on the way there, and then when you leave the cemetery, they play jazz. So like celebration of life after you're buried.
Sure. Okay.
Okay.
And so at the cemetery, Libby sees a boy that Nick says is Maddie, and so she chases after
Lying
him.
bastard.
Yeah. And then so she chases after him because he starts to run.
Yeah.
And then Nick somehow like gets in front of her and like knocks her unconscious. And then he buries her in a crypt.
I literally thought he like accidentally killed her because he literally just smashes her on the head.
Very hard.
Very hard. And I was just like, oh no, he killed her. That's it.
That would have been a sucky ending.
That really would have.
And so it turns out that this was just some random kid that Nick paid.
That he gave $20 to run around a cemetery.
And then back at the police station, Travis is looking up Jonathan but can't find him. And like he's like, "That's weird." And then like the other cops are just like, "So what?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "You don't think it's weird that this man can't be found?"
Right. Like I get it's the 90s
like, people
and that it's hard to find people because of technology, but like wouldn't that just strike you as weird?
It's a little weird. And he was like, oh, like people change their names all the time. I was like,
No.
not for a good not
Yeah.
for like a
Not for
proper
anything
reason.
good.
Like I could think of two legit reasons someone would change their name.
Mm-hmm.
They committed a crime they want to get away from, or they're trying to get away from a person that was stalking them, tried to
Yeah.
kill them,
Yeah.
something like that. Those
Yeah.
are the only two reasons I can think of.
Yeah. Or you're like you're going through the change and you literally don't want to use your name anymore, and so
Yeah,
you want a new one.
yeah. And then
So
so Travis is like, nah, something don't feel right.
yeah.
And so he has a coworker look up Nick's driver's license photo. We're
Yeah, the one
now
from Washington.
we're now at person of color number 4. This one actually speaks.
Actually speaks. Yes. She's got some
Great,
lines.
great. The movie's
We
almost
love to see
over,
it. Yeah, we've
and
got like 20 more minutes.
this is the last one. I'm just gonna tell you now. This is the last person of color in this movie. So
Mhm.
yeah, cool. Oh no, I forgot one. There's actually 5.
Who else?
The police officer that followed Libby. I think he said like one line, but
Oh,
he was black.
yay.
Yay, 5. And then so Libby wakes up inside of a coffin that has a dead body in it.
I would
When
have simply passed
when
away.
I tell you, I would have shat myself.
Yeah, yes. Also, I am claustrophobic. I would have passed away. I would have seen me in a coffin and then I would have seen the dead body to my left and I simply would have just taken myself out. I would have taken myself out because I could not deal with that. No way.
I'm not claustrophobic. I don't care about that. But the fact that I was touching a decaying body would
Mhm.
have set me off. Like I would have like, oh no.
Also, the fact that she immediately looks for her lighter and then turns it on and I'm like, "Girl, that flame is eating up your oxygen.
Yeah.
It's literally eating up your oxygen." Like,
I mean, I guess it wasn't because she wasn't underground, but
but she's
she
still in
didn't
an
know
enclosed
that.
space. Oh, she did not know that.
And also, the coffin is locked somehow. I
Yeah,
don't
I don't know how
I don't
coffins work.
I don't know how that happened. Coffins don't lock.
Yeah, she tried to push herself out, tried to push the lid open and it wouldn't. And there
Yeah,
there was no visible lock on it.
there wasn't. But it's fine because she still has Travis's gun.
Mm-hmm.
And so she shoots the hinges off
Mm-hmm.
and gets out. And then since she's inside of a crypt, she has to like break open a window in the back to like get out.
Yeah. Nick really messed that person's grave up, bro.
Yeah.
And then Livy just had to break the glass to get out.
And then she goes looking for Nick again. She gets to the hotel and is caught by Travis and cries in his arms. And then that night, Travis tells Nick that he knows who he is. And so
Mm-hmm.
Nick offers him $100,000 to keep quiet.
Yep.
And he tells Travis that Libby is no longer a problem. Libby, Libby then comes in
Hell yeah.
and she demands to know where Maddie is. Like she has a gun in her hand. She's like, "I'm ready."
Right.
And
She's ready to take this man out.
then she informs Nick that because of double jeopardy, she can shoot him right here and there,
Mm-hmm.
and nothing would happen to her.
She'd get away with it.
And then
Also, like when Livy was asking for Maddie, like 100% Nick did not have Maddie with him at all. He probably shipped him off to boarding school the second he was old enough.
yeah,
He just seems like that kind of asshole dad that would just like, you
oh,
know what? I
absolutely.
want to live my life. You're going to boarding school.
Yeah. Plus, it's probably easier to like change your name 50 million times if you don't have to also change your son's name 50 million
True.
times.
True. He probably doesn't even want to just deal with his son either.
And then so he tells her where Maddie is. And then he like pops an attitude. And then so she shoots a shot right
Immediately.
next to his head.
Hmm. Yeah. He's like, he tells her and then he gets angry. And then she's like, nah, I ain't having that. I have a gun.
And then so Travis and Libby then tell Nick that they are going to frame him for Libby's murder
Hell
with the
yeah.
motive that he killed her to hide the fact that he framed her for murder.
Hell yeah.
And then
I love
and
that they partnered up for that.
and then they also have a recording of Nick telling Travis that he got rid of Libby.
Hell yeah, they got him, bro.
I don't know if this is going to put me on like some sort of watch list, but like Murder 101, never speak to anyone about killing your
Yeah.
spouse. Like,
Yeah.
never.
Right. Never mention to anybody that you killed, that you offed somebody.
Never.
Never. Even if you trust them.
Even if that person helped you commit the crime,
Yeah.
you
Y'all
never talk
don't
about
talk
it
about it
ever
ever
again.
again. How have we not committed a murder together? Like we could get away with that. Don't yeah. Y'all don't read too much into that.
Don't, please. Like,
Please.
literally, I don't leave my house. Like,
Yeah, we don't leave our house. I have
the
like 4 friends total.
the NSA agent reading my phone activity is probably bored as hell.
Yeah, right. I am too soft to even kill a spider. Like
It's
the
just
FBI agent watching us recording this, anybody else who's on my phone,
literally, you see me. You see me.
right. I am not on any watch list.
Me going
I would
hiking on
never be
Sunday
considered
was
for
the
it.
most exciting thing I've done
Right.
this year. Like, come
Right.
on.
Right.
And so, when they're trying to leave, Nick like pulls out a gun and shoots Travis. And he
Also,
tries.
can I say, like, before that happened, when like Lehman and Nick are talking, and like Nick is trying to like convince Lehman to like arrest Libby.
Mhm.
Lehman's like, "What are you talking to me for? She's got the gun." Like Nick is really trying to not see Libby as like a threat to him, and even Lehman's like, "Yo, I am not the threat here. I am not the power you need to be talking to. She's got the gun, okay? She
Exactly.
literally holds your life in your hands, and you're talking to me." Like, bro, if I was Libby, I would have just been petty and been like, "Pop, you're gone."
It's so Libby like ducks before she gets shot.
Mm-hmm.
And so Travis starts wrestling with Nick for the gun. But Nick gets the upper hand, and right before Nick shoots Travis, Libby shoots Nick twice and kills him.
Hell yeah.
And inadvertently inherits his hotel.
Right. Like I don't remember how this gets brought up, but like
The
legally
cop the
she
cop
is
was
still his wife.
yeah. And so the cop is like,
Because
so this hotel is yours.
Nick was the one that died. So she never remarried, even though she went to prison. She's still married to Nick.
Yes.
So everything that he has, it's hers.
Yeah. But she doesn't want it.
And she doesn't want it. She's literally like, "Oh, I don't want this hotel. I literally just want my son." Like, I've been saying
Right.
that since day one.
She's like, how come no one listens to me? I just
Right.
want my son.
She's like, literally, Nick would be alive right now if he just listened to me.
And so Travis then tells Libby that he's going to take her to Seattle to get a full pardon. And so Travis and Libby then go to Maddie's school,
Mm-hmm. His boarding school.
his boarding school.
We were right.
And I guess Libby just goes up to the soccer coach, is like, "Hey, I'm looking for Maddie." And he's like, "Oh, you can see him when we go to halftime." I'm like, "Are you not going to ask more
Right.
questions?"
He was so trusting. Like, she didn't even say that she was his mom.
Yeah.
She was literally just like, "Yeah, I'm here to see Maddie." And he's like,
And is
"Yeah,
there
you
only
got
one
one right
Maddie
there."
in this entire all boys boarding school? There's only one Maddie?
I would feel like that's a lie.
Yeah, I believe there would be at least two Matthews.
Yeah.
Go by Maddie.
Right. Or Matt. But still, there's somebody that's like, "Oh, yeah, that's Matt right there."
Yeah.
It's not her son.
And so and so Maddie and Libby see each other. She's like, "Do you remember who I am?" And he's like, "Yes." They
It
told
was literally
they told me you were dead.
right. It was at this moment that I was like, before they started talking, I was just like, I hope like Nick didn't turn him into some little asshole. Like, I hope
Yeah.
he didn't like trash talk Libby and like he didn't like rub off on him in any way. But he's fine
Yeah, he's
so
fine.
far.
I have two thoughts about
Mhm.
this. Oh, and then they hug, and that's like the end of the movie.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I have two thoughts about this kid. First off, he was a much better actor than the first kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, great. Give him a 9 out of 10. And then secondly, Maddie must need some real therapy.
For real though.
because he's constantly being told that one of his parents is dead and then
Yeah.
finding out later that it's not true.
Mm-hmm.
The therapy that is needed for Maddie,
The trauma.
the trauma.
Like his dad is never there, so there's some issues there. And then
Yes.
both of the women that were in his life as parental figures were dead.
Yeah.
And then one of them is now suddenly alive, like homie.
And then it all started with him finding out that his dad was dead, and then turns out his dad
That
isn't
isn't
dead.
dead. And
And
now
then
his dad really is
now his
dead.
dad really is dead. So confusing.
Honestly, like
Like
that
those aren't even my
boy.
parents, and I need to like take a break.
Right, me too. Like I can't even process. Like I don't even know how much they're gonna tell Maddie. But
Yeah.
even if they're just telling him the basics, it's still too much.
Yeah. Ugh.
Like there's so many dots going on and connections that you need to make, and it's like, yo,
Let's pray for Maddie.
pray for Maddie. Press F to pay respects to Maddie.
Okay, are you ready for the movie facts?
Yes.
Okay, the first one. Jodie Foster landed the role of Libby first.
Really?
Yeah, after Meg Ryan and Brooke Shields both declined the role. But then she
Meg
was
Ryan was considered for this?
yes, but then Jodie Foster was replaced by Ashley Judd, who plays the role,
Yeah.
because she became pregnant.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Huh.
Second one.
Okay.
Bruce Greenwood, who plays Nick,
Mm-hmm.
fakes his death while out at sea on a yacht to frame his wife. And then he does the exact same thing in the film Bitter Vengeance that came out in 1994.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I wonder if he just liked that kind of role. I don't know. That's kind of
He
weird.
got typecast.
He got typecast. It's like, hey, we saw that you framed somebody for a murder on a boat, and we want you to do it again.
Yeah. Like his agent's like, man, do I have a role for you?
It's like, remember that one movie that you did?
Let's do it
Let's do it
again.
again. It was so good the first time. Let's just do it again.
And then this is going to be your favorite one.
Ooh, okay.
While it's true that the US Constitution forbids a person being tried for the same crime more than once, being tried for a crime does not give a person license to then go and commit that crime again. So murder is not the only crime she could have been charged with. Others would have been involved carrying a concealed weapon, stalking,
Oh yeah.
and manslaughter.
True, true, true. Oh my gosh.
So yeah, she would have been arrested again in real life. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry, people.
Yeah. Because she would have committed different crimes this time because for the first time,
Plus she broke her parole
plus she broke
multiple
the
times.
parole. Yeah. Like the first time she's probably just like tried for murder. This one, she probably has the weapon. She has like damages probably to like,
This would have been first degree murder. Because she
yeah,
literally went out with the
intent.
intent of killing
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. It was premeditated.
Yeah. So it would have been technically a different crime.
Yeah. Like it's murder, but it's not the same level of degree,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Dang, Libby, I'm sorry. If
Wow.
there was this in real life. Yo.
The wind outside is wilding. It's going crazy right now. Out here, we are in a windstorm, sort of. Like, I got no sleep. Like, the wind was so loud last night.
Yeah. Like it's the minimum like mile per hour wind, like where I was is 15. It's just
Right.
gone up from there.
It's been like 23 and up all day here. So
Yeah,
that's
we're at
fun.
25 here.
Yeah. So do you think this movie is iconic?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh, thank you, because I thought we were gonna have to fight.
Oh no. There is no contest. This is iconic. Like homegirl gets framed and then she goes out and does the crime herself.
Yes.
Yes, I am all for it.
Movie is great. Acting,
We love to see it.
great. Plot,
Great.
fairly original, great.
Yes.
you're on the edge of your seat the entire time.
Mm-hmm. And literally, I feel like the whole time I was just all like, "Yes, Queen, get him."
Give Ashley Judd a minimum of a Golden Globe. Give
Right.
her.
Also, like the whole premise of this movie is like karma's a bitch, and also what comes around goes around. Like literally, it's just like homegirl being petty, and it's like, you know what? You want to die? I'll do it for real.
Oh, I forgot about this. This movie has a 27% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Robbed.
It's pure misogyny.
Robbed.
It's
Yeah,
pure
it is. It really
misogyny.
is.
If the roles were reversed,
They would have loved it.
the male actor would have had an Oscar.
Uh-huh. Damn, what the hell? 27?
27.
Wow, what the hell?
The Twilight movies are higher.
Yeah, they literally see a strong female character and they're like, hate it. Don't want to see it ever again. Get it out of my face.
Get it out of my eyes.
Get the misogynistic bastards out of my way.
I hate life.
Really, though. Give Double Jeopardy the recognition it deserves, okay?
Yeah, if this was a movie starring Leonardo DiCaprio playing a husband who goes after his wife who framed him for murder, he would have had his first Oscar in 1999.
Mm-hmm. Because they would have seen it as the man gets justice. And really, though, the law is on his side. But nah, this is a woman and she literally does the same thing. And it's like, we hate it.
We hate it. Not in our house.
Not in our house. Not in our misogynistic house.
First off, for recommendations this week, we both have a joint recommendation.
Yes, we do.
Go ahead and tell the people.
We are recommending Shake Shack.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. Everybody, if you haven't had Shake Shack before, this was my first time having Shake Shack before.
Yes, I love to introduce people to Shake Shack.
It was so good.
Shroom burger, 12 out of 10.
12 out of 10. Cheese fries.
Killer.
Killer. We also got shakes.
Delicious.
I was in heaven the whole time I was eating.
Oh, absolutely.
The whole time. You really cannot fight that.
You can't. Do you have any other ones?
Yes, I do. I have. I'm going to recommend an album by Lido. I hope I'm saying all of this right. It's an album by Lido, and the album's called Pedir. I don't know if it's in Spanish or whatever, or it's Pedir. Don't know. But there's a song with JoJo on it in the album.
Any song with JoJo is good.
It's so good. And the rest is so good. Like, you just vibe the whole time. It's so good.
JoJo has 2 songs with PJ Morton. They're both amazing.
Amazing. Yes.
What is the first one? It's called like Say So. And then
yes.
And then the second one is a Christmas song. They're both great.
They're both great. Also, if we haven't talked about JoJo enough, go check her out, please.
Please.
This queen.
Oh my gosh, guys. Our concert got canceled.
Oh, yeah. So we originally had tickets to go see her last April. And then they rescheduled it for this year. And it got canceled. I'm so upset. This would have been our third time seeing her. Our third time seeing her. We love this woman. She's a queen. And I'm sad. Yes, I'm very sad. Dang, bro. So, as for me, my other recommendation is Schitt's Creek. Ooh, yeah. I just finished it, which is a big deal for me because lately I have not been able to finish a television show. Me too. I'll get 3 episodes in and I'm just like, oh, there's something else I need to watch. Yeah. Or I'll get to the end and there'll be like 2 episodes left. And I'm like, I can't do it. Yep. I still have not finished The Haunting of Bly Manor. Yeah. I literally have 1 episode left. Still haven't finished it. And I'm not even into horror stuff. And I watched it and I finished it. Like, that's something coming from me. Oh, she watched something horror. That means my next movie is going to be a horror movie. Oh, no. Please don't test that. Let's do it. He's going to pull out The Ring or something. The Ring is not worse. Scary. Oh, oops. Did I just out myself? Oh no.
Maybe
have
the
nightmares.
Japanese version is, but the
Oh
American
my
version
gosh.
is not scary.
Asian horror films, they are the worst. I literally watched one with my mom. It was a Korean one, and like I still think about it sometimes, and I just don't like it. It's so scary.
Yeah,
Like I can do psychological thrillers, but anything scary. Mm-mm.
yeah, I was gonna for my next movie, I was gonna look for a bad movie, but I guess I might just do a scary
We
movie.
can do a scary movie if you really want
Because
to.
I was really going to do vampires, the Vampire Academy. Is
Academy.
that what it's called?
Yeah.
Let me just give you a little heads up of why I was going to pick this movie. So I saw it was on TV and I was like, oh, great. And so I turned it on. I was like, I've never seen this movie before. I turned it on. I didn't even make it 10 minutes into the movie.
Yeah,
And
you got 5 minutes in.
like, I was like 5 minutes into the movie and I was like, this is bad.
Yeah, yeah. And he literally texted me. He's all like, "Have you seen this?" I'm like, "No, I haven't." He's like, "Okay, we're doing that for
Yeah,
the next
I
movie."
stopped watching the movie. I was like, no, we
Because
need
it
to do
was that
this.
bad already. 5 minutes
Yeah,
in.
5 minutes. The dialogue was so cringy.
Oh, oh no.
Oh my gosh.
So I guess
I really want to do that movie next, but I might pick a horror movie. Like, be prepared. Be prepared for anything.
okay. Yes, look out for that. It's either going to be a really bad movie or it's going to be a really scary movie.
Yes.
It's going to be literally me just watching it broad daylight.
Oh my gosh, should I make her watch Paranormal Activity? Like, send us
I've actually
something.
seen I've seen Paranormal Activity.
Oh, okay.
I think the only part that really scared me was the ending.
Oh, yeah.
But it freaked me out, but like I
I
wasn't
got
scared.
it. I know what we're watching.
Oh no.
I know what we're watching. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Well, thank you for listening.
Yes.
Don't forget to follow us on our social media. We have a Twitter and an Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
They're both at SYTYI Podcast. Send us your movie requests, your funny stories, whatever you want at our email, sytyi.podcast@gmail.com. We still have a lot of questions that need to be answered. So
Yes.
you could also do that.
Yeah. We have questions basically in every one of our
One of our specifically our Princess Diaries episode,
yes,
we had a lot of questions.
We did, because we don't know how anything with a monarchy works.
No, absolutely not. Also, don't forget to subscribe to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, literally whatever you have.
Yeah.
Share us with your friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're on Apple Podcasts, please give us a rate and review.
Yes, please.
5 stars, please.
Please. Nothing less. No, I'm just kidding.
Nothing less. You can't give anything more.
Yeah. Just give us a 5, and if you really do hate us, just say why. But just give us the 5 stars.
Yeah, give us the 5 and then like in the comment be like, you fucking suck.
Yeah. Like idiots. Like we hate the commentary. 5 stars.
Can Jordan speak English? No.
No.
But
does any research go into this podcast? Also no.
Also no. I think I've done research for like maybe one part in like 2 episodes.
Yeah, I think it was like the one with the poker.
Yeah, that was pretty much
that was pretty
Molly's
much it.
game.
Molly's game.
And then I think I did some research on one of the Twilight episodes, or was it the Santa Claus episode?
I think it might have been the Santa Claus one.
It might have been the Santa Claus one. Who knows? Yeah. I'm a mess.
We are a mess.
Well, anyway, don't forget to wear your mask.
Yes, and wash them and your hands.
Yes, and stay iconic.
Stay iconic, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.